Hi everybody, I'm here to do a tutorial on the basics of Photoshop. So let's get this started. Okay everybody, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. Just put this to the side. So here's my audio recording. Great, you know that. Okay, what I'm going to be doing, obviously, so I explained in a beginning video that's down here. Basically, we're gonna open Safari. All this stuff does not matter to you. Okay, so finally I fixed my Safari on my own because I was tired of stuff going down that I couldn't use it. I actually am not going to do this. Okay. Let me go get my SD card. So I'm going to get a photo, like I said, of a simple like JVM runner photo, and I have a specific one that I'm going to use. It's one I took outside and I used flash, so not much editing was really needed because all the details were there. And it was dark outside and I used my flash, so the background was blacked out, so there's nothing to be blurred out. If you want to learn blurring in the same video, I could use a different photo, but you could just let me know in the comments or on Instagram. Don't need that open. There's going to be a lot of things that I'm not going to need open, and you're just going to casually see them. Well, I guess I'm kind of glad I saw this, so I deleted it. Okay, it's just me. Alright, so this is from Wrecking Joy, which is the latest from one that's okay. Alright, so whatever. Okay, I like to do this up just so that I can clearly see images. So the background to take out, what is it called? You know, stage photos, something like that. Alright, so there's a few pictures that I taken because they were really hard to edit and I couldn't get a good edit. I like this one. See, I think this one and this one were my favorite. It's just, I like when the person who I'm trying to take a picture of is the main focus, and here it is. So it's definitely a huge thing of mine. So, and do not focus on the photo to the right. It wasn't one of my best days. I thought I looked good, but I really didn't. I don't know. Anywho, it is obviously 1 a.m. as you can tell. So basically I'm going to show you what every tool, not every tool because I don't actually use every tool and you don't have to use every tool, but when you go to image up here, so you have your image open, and obviously if you want to so if you have if you want to edit on a new layer and you want to color, what am I on? I'm on eraser. Okay. But if you wanted to write something, and then if you want to rotate it, if you go to image and image rotation, that will actually flip the whole image, and you don't want that. So you would go to transform and edit, transform, and then rotate. So that would then rotate that layer. But we're not going to be making new layers in this video. I'm just going to show you what the tools in adjustments do, which a lot of them are basic. It's brightness, contrast, of course, brightness, how bright, how dark, you know, contrast. It really, I don't know, I guess it puts more emphasis on colors, on certain colors, you know, I don't know if I could actually explain to you since what actually the tools do, but it's more of how I want my photo to turn out. I really like a lot of contrast in my photos, so it really darkens it up, if you can tell. But I'm just going to keep the photo neutral right now, just so you can see what every tool does to a photo. Levels, if you want to do your levels, okay, I am going to be honest with you, I have no idea what levels do. They just do. My screen was really dark. But what you're going to do if you want to do your levels by yourself, if you see the eyedropper right here, I don't know if you know where my mouse is, and it's black, you're going to hit where the photo is the darkest, which this one's pretty hard because a lot of places are dark. So I guess click anywhere. But obviously, for this photo, obviously I can click anywhere. But for a photo that you're using, you need to find where the darkest place in a photo is, and you need to then click there. And you might or might not see something adjust, which I barely saw it adjust, but... And this is where it gets hard. This white eyedropper, which is over here, not here, but over here. You need to, just like you would think, you need to click the brightest part of the photo. Which is very hard because it's pretty bright. And this is all about trial and error. Okay, it is obviously not his teeth. But sometimes it doesn't really turn out perfectly. I actually haven't done levels like myself. What I do is I do auto levels because usually I'm editing like a ton of photos, so I would do auto levels. Or sometimes I won't do auto levels. Alright, that was a bad thing to do. I don't think I actually used levels in this photo. I think I just did a lot of contrast. But you can try doing auto levels and see if you like that, or you can try doing levels yourself. And if you don't like how it turns out, then you don't like how it turns out. Curves, I never really understood. I thought it was more of like same thing as levels to me. But I guess there's a thing called an S-curve, and I guess it's kind of creating S, obviously. I'm not sure if I ever was like I'm not really into doing levels myself, but I could probably create a cooler picture if I was more into doing levels. Levels for me is more of like trying out to see how you can actually make the photo look. I mean, it's cool. I will admit, like it's different. It definitely gives me more of like a grungy look if you want to do that. So there's that. And exposure, obviously, I use a lot of exposure for my band pictures, or obviously like on stage pictures, because the gamma correction, it takes out a lot of light, and that's what I need for my on stage pictures. Offset, I usually use that a lot because it's more, I don't know why. I don't know why I do it. It just makes my pictures look good. I don't know why. I really don't. Obviously, exposure is light. How much light? Ooh, that's a lot of light. Okay, but I can see the smoke, and that's pretty cool. I've never done that before. Yeah. So that's pretty basic right there. Vibrance, obviously, how vibrant the colors are. If you want them to be. I guess in vibrant, like you still have a bit of color, but you can barely see it. Saturation is more of like removing, I guess, colors. See, I don't know. I feel like there's more of a difference. Saturation, if you put more saturation, it's more harsher on the vibrance of colors. So I don't really mess with saturation unless it's really needed. Which would be here, like if I want to black out or do black and white, or lightness. That's really nice. Why didn't I do this before? Or darkness, whatever. But that would really kind of like, to me, if I want to do another layer and then layer adjustments or blending mode and whatever. But if you want to colorize a photo, you'd hit colorize, which is down here, and you can change, obviously, the color of a photo, and then you go to saturation, which makes the color more harsh or less, or you know. So I don't know if I'm really explaining this or getting down to your level. No, I'm just joking. Color balance is something I really, really use a lot. I'm not sure if I don't quite know what everything does, but everything seems to work out for me. You know, I usually go and I adjust things and how it works to me. You know, I don't know, it's all about trying out and see how you like it. I might actually end up liking this in the end and cry over it, so. You know, it's this, I mean, highlights obviously take care of highlights in the face and all, so it's pretty basic about that, but unless, you know, you don't know Photoshop. I mean, highlights are pretty easy because, you know where highlights go, but I think I might actually, no. That's an exciting photo. Hold on, guys. I impressed myself, so. But it's also like 1 in the morning, so what seems cool to me now might not seem as cool. So, I don't know. I don't really have cool names for my stuff. Okay, now we're back. Anywho, moving on to photo filter. Obviously, is basically it's basically what you think it is. It's a photo filter. So I don't really have to explain that. And obviously, black and white is to black and white it. Channel mixer. I could not tell you what channel mixer does. There are some things I use, and there are some things I just don't use. So yeah, I'm not honestly sure what this does. So don't talk to me about channel mixer because I have no clue what this does. This does not make any sense to me. So it's just one of those tools that's just there and I don't use. So invert is, well, obviously, ouch, invert your picture. And posterize does exactly what you think it does. It turns him into Barack Obama. Not really. I wouldn't use this. I would use posterize filter in filter, and I'm not sure where it would be. I would go to, depending on what Photoshop you have. I have CS6, if you can see here. I would go to filter gallery, and ouchie. I'm pretty sure there's a posterize. I just don't use filters. You know, it's not one of my things to do, you know? Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't know about posterizing anything, because, yeah, I wouldn't know, guys. The filters are usually what people do, and then they call it art, so, I don't know. Yeah, so, I don't use filters. Anywho, threshold. I use threshold if I don't remember what I used threshold for. I used it before, but I used it for something. I don't remember, guys. Gradient map is obviously gradients. Usually I would use gradients in my art class or my digital media class, but we'd create our own gradients and stuff like that. These gradients are really bad. I actually I downloaded gradients for like sunset colors and stuff like that. If you can tell, I used it for a project of mine, and you can download gradients online if you want to. I can't really talk. It's late. Again, selective color is something I couldn't tell you what it does. So, maybe someday I'll figure it out. You don't need all that. Shadows, obviously, there, or there, there, or there. Highlights, emphasis. I don't get it. The more you go, the less the highlights are, so it doesn't make much sense to me, but it works out in the end if you need to. HDR toning is it all depends on the picture. Usually I use HDR for my concert photos when they're actually on stage. The past few pictures I've used were screaming pictures where I just like made them black and white and I put HDR on it. They're on my Flickr, or I could try showing you how I do it. I would make it black and white so then it doesn't like really affect it that much because it affects the colors a lot. But if you would turn, oh my god, I don't know, I haven't done this in a long time because I don't really mess with I don't mess with HDR lately. Yeah, don't do it. I by hand do HDR if you would like to see in a different video. We're not gonna do it here. We're gonna, alright. Desaturate, obviously, desaturate and black and white are the same thing. They both desaturate the photo, which is black and white. I guess if you click black and white, you can not do that. I don't know. I just do desaturate if you just want to black and white it, because, yeah. So this wasn't a very descriptive video on how to do and what to do. I guess, I don't know how much time I've been going for. 18 minutes, alright, because people have totally been listening for 18 minutes. Anywho, I guess if you would like to see real quick how to do the HDR by hand, I could show you. You can Command J, or you can click it and just do duplicate layer, and since not everyone has a Mac, I'm just going to do that. And this will come up and I'll just hit OK. And right off, if you saw, I'll probably crop it so you won't see it. So what you're first gonna do is you're gonna go to overlay, and which is when you're right here and you see this box right here, it's gonna say normal, you're gonna click it and you're gonna hit overlay. These are the blending modes, and it's gonna look really dark and not cool right now, but we're gonna change that. So I finally figured out, and you're gonna go to filter, which is up here, and you're gonna go to other, and you're gonna go to high pass. And high pass is going to allow you to have your own HDR tone, which I learned this actually from a tutorial online. So this is more easier and free. I wouldn't say easier, but it's less disgusting, because the other HDR tone obviously was more dark and not cool. So and you can do a lot with blending modes. It's more of like trying it out and seeing what you can do with it. But that's how you do your own HDR toning. And don't ask me what HDR does, because I still have a lot to learn. I just know HDR really brings out the photo a lot more. I should have done I should have done what here, I'll show you what it's, I'll find what I like. Okay, so that's okay, I guess. So this is the after and this is the before. So it really brings out the picture a lot. But yeah, so so there's that. That's how you do your own HDR toning, and then also the basics of how to edit your picture and cropping. If you want to crop your picture, since I have CS6, it just lets me drag it and crop it how I want to. Obviously, you don't, when editing pictures, it's nice to have your person on the side, which is rule of thirds. It's more of a like photography thing to do, but it's also an art thing. You know, it's cooler that way, I guess. So there you go. There's your tutorial on how basics. If you have any other questions or what's it called? Request of tutorials, I can surely try to do it for you. You know, if you want to see filters or see how to, I don't know. I can do stuff. So, yeah, there you go. Let me just try to figure out how to. Alright, guys. Bye.